everybody. Today we are recognizing Vroozi as a Spend Matters 50 to Watch provider. I am Xavier Olivera, Procure-to-Pay Lead Analyst of Spend Matters. Spend Matters, for all that don't know Spend Matters, provides meaningful market intelligence and tailored solutions to practitioners, consultants, investors, and solution providers with a focus on the procurement, finance, and supply chain markets. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Shaz Khan, CEO and co-founder of Vroozi. Hi, Shaz. Would you like to take a minute to tell the audience a little bit about your background?
Thank you, Xavier. We are thrilled to be here today with Spend Matters and very grateful for being included on the 50 to Watch. We understand the detail and time and energy it takes to put these types of reports together and are grateful for being included. My name is Shaz Khan. I'm the CEO, co-founder of Vroozi, headquartered here in Los Angeles, California. And my background is 25 plus years in supply chain consulting, financial consulting, and technology platforms focused on procure-to-pay and AP automation. So it's a pleasure to be here.
Today, as I just mentioned, we are congratulating Vroozi for earning a spot on the 50 to Watch list in recognition of its innovation and impact on the procurement space. So the list, let's talk a little bit about what is the list. The list serves as an important guide for procurement leaders. It highlights key players that drives innovation, drives transformation in the supply chain and source-to-pay ecosystems. The list highlight a mix of well-established market leaders and emerging innovators like Vroozi, all helping to drive the evolution of procurement technology, whether through proven results or groundbreaking solutions. These companies are shaping the future of procurement and redefining industry standards. So what are these lists? These are accurate selections, not rankings. Providers are select based on Spend Matters analyst team knowledge of the industry and the solutions. Solutions that focus that define the categories with groundbreaking approaches, deliver measurable business outcomes using advanced technologies, drive meaningful market change through unique approaches, or provide an intuitive and flexible platform that adapts to dynamic business needs. These criteria make this list different from anything in the market and ensure that the select providers meet current procurement demands while shaping the future of the industry. But why we select Vroozi for this list? Vroozi earned the spot on the 50 to Watch list thanks to its innovative procure-to-pay solution. It's designed to meet the needs of both mid-sized business and large enterprises, delivering impactful and adaptable tools in the procure-to-pay space. With features of AI-powered automation, Vroozi streamlines procurement workflows and improves efficiency. Its seamless ERP integration helps business accelerate ROI while improving operational performance. What really sets Vroozi apart is its user-friendly design, encouraging quick adoption so teams can start seeing value right away. Plus, its mobile-first configurable tools are perfect for today's fast-changing business environment. By combining innovation, ease of use, and flexibility, Vroozi stands out as a leading procure-to-pay solution, and it's not surprised it's a 50 to Watch provider in our Spend Matters list. So that's too much, right? But that is what Vroozi is. And now that we have Shaz here, we have prepared a couple of questions. So it's not just me talking, but it's you also explaining a little bit on how Vroozi being recognized multiple times on these 50 providers to watch. Tell us a little bit about Vroozi origin and what you think sets Vroozi apart in such a competitive landscape.
Well, thank you, Xavier, again for having us. I'm delighted to be here and share a little bit about Vroozi and why we're so focused on being recognized by analysts such as Spend Matters. It's a great testament to the hard work of our team, but also we are very, very uh, uh, happy with the thoroughness that analyst firms like Spend Matters take in evaluating these solutions end to end. And so we don't take that lightly when we get recognized in that respect. The origin story for Vroozi is actually quite interesting. And I think if I would go back to, let's say, 2008, there was a number of different things happening in 2008, one of which was a large economic crisis in terms of what was happening in the economy with mortgages and some of the unemployment figures. There was a number of things happening that I had a supply chain consulting firm that was at a large utility company. And we were putting in what we call a big box ERP platform to optimize how this utility would purchase indirect goods and services, as well as focus on what we call tail spend. And one of the challenges for us was we actually had to go train a number of individuals who were out in the field, people that actually fix the streets, put up the electric poles and utility poles. These are the linemen that make up some of the utility. And they were asked to sit in days of training on how to order in this new system. And if looks could kill, that's where we were. They basically revolted right away at that point and said, we're going to use our own personal credit cards or corporate credit cards to go down the street and purchase what we need, because I'm not going to take 50 steps to go make this purchase happen in this system. And along that time, there was also this incredible new invention hitting the market. And we don't think it's that, we think it's a long time ago, but there was the smartphone that came out. And the smartphone evolved to a point where it wasn't just a communications device to communicate and talk over the phone with one another, but it became an actual device which you can actually execute tasks. You could read email, you could view websites, you could order items and products through your smartphone interface. And so that became the seminal moment, which I looked at and said, how can we combine this consumer-like effect, this now mobile-first computing device capability, and bring a software technology that can optimize how companies can purchase products and services? And that's where Vroozi was born, from the concept of consumerizing B2B commerce, but also having a mobile-first, user-centric design philosophy that can contribute to what is the major challenge in a lot of businesses, which is end-user adoption of these mega platforms.
Great. And as I mentioned, those are key strengths of Vroozi. And not just that, also, we prepare another question about the ROI, and those are also a strength of Vroozi. Could you talk a little bit about ROI when you position Vroozi to your customers? Can you elaborate a little bit about that?
Sure. I think one of the major differentiations that we look at in the market amongst the peers in our space, which do a phenomenal job in many respective categories. But for us, it is about speed. Vroozi is derived from the word vroom. And our whole focus and intent is not only speed of the actual transaction from purchasing products and services to paying your suppliers electronically, but it also speed to implement the software. And so when we look at how companies measure their ROI, a lot of times you get into situations where you purchase a platform that you want to implement, and a year and a half later, it's implemented. Sometimes the stakeholders that signed off on the contract are not even at the company during the go live. And so for us, we really focus on compact, meaningful implementations where companies can realize time to value very quickly. So that can take shape in a 3-month implementation cycle with time to value typically within 9 to 12 months of putting in Vroozi. This can manifest from an ROI standpoint of up to 20% cost savings on catalog or contract compliance spend, up to 40% document processing cost savings on intelligent invoice management. And these are the things that it's very hard for companies to wrap their heads around. How do we make these changes and make them impactful? And so not only do we focus on that user-centric design for driving end user adoption so people can realize these ROI metrics, but there's also this philosophy of constantly evolving the software to meet the dynamic needs of different businesses and industries. And so we are maniacal also at focusing on introducing new capabilities and features into the product set that our customers ask for and require for their industries.
Yeah, for sure. Time to value is an important topic here in our space, and you mentioned it, and well, it's something that we see a lot and hear a lot every time that we discuss with organization this topic. Okay, another question is you have a lot of insights about the market when you're implementing your solution. How does Vroozi help in the areas of operation and excellence? So what are the challenges that organizations are having when implementing the solutions and drive this operational excellence?
Well, I think when you look at digitizing any type of business process within an enterprise, the challenge is always in adopting the solutions that you're spending the time to put in and the change management associated with that. Now, how do you mitigate that risk of change management, training, rejectors within the company that don't want to use a specific system or process? You make the platform simple, approachable, but you don't sacrifice the compliance, business rules, and policies. Going back to the smartphone example, one of the wonderful things about the smartphone is that when you open up the box, you'll notice that people just rip off the protective screen and start using it right away. There's a small little training manual that pretty much gets put aside into your closet because nobody needs to be trained. And so when we talk about procure to pay, digital excellence, operational excellence, we like to think of what we call walk-up procurement. People should be able to log in and have an incredible, beautiful experience with the software first and foremost, and then the software should adapt to the customer needs, right? Which is where we're really putting a lot of investment and energy in our product roadmap and design. So when we talk about operational excellence, we look at a number of areas. One is intelligent document processing. When you have a number of structured and unstructured documents coming inbound, for example, invoices, you could see invoices coming in Excel file formats, electronic file formats, paper that is basically handwritten. How do you have a singular engine that can read all types of data in multiple languages without having to train that system? Well, you do that through a neural network. You do that through leveraging AI capabilities that you can pre-build in to deliver maximum value. And so what would take companies 20 to 30 minutes to process one invoice, you can be doing so in 15 seconds using intelligent document processing engines like Vroozi to achieve those results. That's where you can see tremendous operational excellence when you have software doing the work on your behalf.
Yeah, you mentioned a couple of things that are very important, but one of the words that really I really like is you mentioned a beautiful user experience, right? That says a lot, right? If you can deliver that beautiful user experience, is something that really has a lot of meaning, meanings, right? And makes this operational excellence part of that user experience, right? So that is great. Let me ask you one more questions about what is exciting you about the future of procurement technology. We are, as you, embedded in this space, but you hear a lot from organizations. You are in the front. Uh, what excites you in this new era of procurement, and also how Vroozi is positioning itself in to take this uh, advantage of the new technologies that we have today. Also, talking about AI, talking about a lot of things that you that you see and hear every day.
Yeah, it's quite honestly an exciting time to be a technology platform and software solution provider. There are a wealth of tools that are allowing companies to iterate and develop capabilities for companies in record time. And when I look at the future of procure tech, I look at really how do you bring these types of technologies from a time to market standpoint that makes sense for a company where they can adopt it quickly. And so where do I see the excitement? Well, we've actually centered our entire product roadmap on an acronym that we labeled called COIN, which stands for collaboration, orchestration, integration, and neural. And so what does the future of procure tech look like? It is going to be a dynamic environment where you can collaborate with your suppliers and trading partners in real time through many different interfaces, not just a typical sequential, I'm sending a purchase order, the supplier's acknowledging it. You can be incorporating video. You can be incorporating text. The global supply chain and the advent of the internet and video technologies are allowing for companies to discover new suppliers at record pace and record time. And so when we look at the advent of AI, agentic AI, Gen AI, RAG architecture, these are all terms that are going to become commonplace within enterprises and mid-market companies. And they're all going to allow for two things, in my opinion, that should be embedded within any kind of technology platform to optimize a mega process like procure to pay, order to cash, settle to close. And the first is being able to optimize and have a virtual assistant accompany you throughout the process. So, for example, in procurement, you could be looking at, I would like to, find what are my top 10 spend suppliers in the United States that I do business with. And the procurement platform, based on the data that it has, will be able to provide you that answer and those data points. I think also if you look at data sharing, data privacy, that is a very interesting area, especially when it comes to benchmarking. If you're a company in the chemicals industry or the automotive industry, chances are you've subscribed or done some level of benchmarking in your industry to understand what companies are doing, where they're getting their raw material costs, and what are the best practices in certain areas. And so allowing for that level of benchmarking with AI being able to ingest all that data across industries is going to be quite powerful, because now industries can actually start sharing that information internally, right? So I think when you look at the future, what does the future look like? We are going to see dynamically connected systems across the procure tech landscape that not only combine just your procure to pay, your supplier information management, your risk management, your carbon footprint. Are you buying stuff from a sustainability standpoint that are required? Are you meeting your spend diversity objectives? If not, how can you go and meet those objectives? And this all falls under the guise of the second big area in procure to pay, which is going to focus on hyper-personalization. Being able to curate items to the tastes and profiles of your user population. We already have hyper-personalization in our consumer segment, whether it's watching a film, whether it's targeted ads, whether it's recommended products on an e-commerce site. We're going to see increasing hyper-personalization in the supply chain and procure tech landscapes as well.
Yeah, you mentioned, and this is why we select Vroozi as someone to watch and someone to follow. Everything that you said is something that we see every day. Innovation, ease of use, flexibility, some of the features that solutions are really going for, and we see Vroozi as doing all of this. So we appreciate your time, Sash. We need to wrap up. So and something to add at the end, so our listeners go with a better English than mine.
You're amazing, Xavier. Thank you so much. And it's been a pleasure to participate today. We just encourage for listeners of this and folks that are watching this if you need more information on the company, I encourage everyone to come to Vroozi.com. We are doing some pretty amazing things, and we're very excited about what the future holds for our organization, our platform, and our customers.
Well, congratulations, Sash, and all Vroozi.
Thank you.